Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to witness the greatness of STR Spaghetti Arm Piccolo. As you can see, I'm using the same exact team that I used last time for this clear. I'm just replacing Int Gogeta with STR Piccolo. The difference between the two units is that Gogeta is technically under a 200% lead, and Piccolo is just under the movie hero's lead, which is not necessarily terrible. The only thing that I saw as like a negative was that a little bit less HP pool, like for your team. But in general, I would say that the Piccolo is a better unit for this event especially than the Gogeta, just because of the fact that Gogeta, I think, takes like 75k normals only after he supers and after he activates his active skill. Whereas with the Piccolo, if you actually have his passive active and then also do a super attack, you're taking 75 per normal. And he can survive supers. He actually can survive supers. He'll take around... If he has his full passive active and he also has a super attack, he'll take around like a high 390, low 400 super, which is possibly survivable. I actually went one time where like literally I was almost full HP, and at the end I took a super and two normals. The one normal I survived, and then I died to the other normal, which is pretty amazing, honestly. There's not many units that can really take a super followed by normals other than potentially either in Hercule, who is not bugged. Stop saying that. Stop spreading that fucking false news. This is a feature of Hercule. He's the world champion. He's supposed to be the greatest character in the world. What, if anything's a bug, is the fact that Hercule doesn't get an attack boost along with the defense boost. By the way, if he ever gets an easy A and like they like give him attack and then they quote unquote fix, there's nothing to fix, quote unquote fix him, I'll be livid. I'll be salty. I'll be out this world. But the Piccolo is really good. I think the only thing I don't like about this Piccolo is the fact that I only have him at 55%. If I could get him rainbowed, woo-wee, I'll be putting him... Yo, listen, I'm telling you right now, the day that PHY Piccolo gets an easy A and he becomes like a 200% Namekian's lead, which is what... Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, the Namekian category needs a 220% leader. The Namekian category is down bad. The only person who is putting in OD work on the Namekian category is AGL Nail, and maybe, just maybe, I'm putting a big-ass maybe for the... Lord Slug. Lord Slug is pretty decent, especially if you could get the transform, but I don't know, man. Like, AGL Nail's the only one that puts in work, and now Spaghetti Arm Piccolo is another one that's putting in that work. I respect Spaghetti Arm Piccolo. There's no cap in here. There's no BS. This man is 55%, and he is standing toe-to-toe with this demon, this devil, Selmax, just like in the movie. Just like in the movie, how Piccolo literally broke his back, carried the entire plot of the movie, carried getting the Dragon Balls, carried fucking teaching Gohan to stop being such a pussy bitch. Literally, just like how in the movie, Piccolo had to carry everything, a team on his back, same thing here. And another thing that's good about this Piccolo, no bullshit, is first of all, the team I have is kind of fucky. Like, I didn't even really make the team right for Piccolo because he gets an additional 15% damage reduction per movie hero category in the turn. So me having Int Hercule, me having Int Broly isn't necessarily the right setup for him, because you're just not always going to have damage reduction. So what ends up happening is that, you know, I usually get like maybe 15% damage reduction, and with 15% damage reduction, he's still tanking pretty good. He's doing like a good 75k per normal after his like passive is active. And a super. The problem I have with him is that like I want to put him off rotation usually, and what ends up happening is that if he's off rotation, he loses his passive hit. So it becomes like an Int Vegeta, like Super Saiyan Int Vegeta situation, where like if you put him off rotation, and when I say Int Vegeta, I'm talking about the Easy A. I'm not talking about Majin Vegeta at all. I don't think he even has a hit requirement. But if you put him off the rotation, he ends up being ass, and he ends up not having that defense plus 50%, which makes a huge difference, because if he gets hit by Cell Max before his super and before his passive, he's taking like 115k. But if he gets his super with the passive, it's like 75k, which is significant. Like, that's very significant damage reduction. I think the only thing that I would want with this character to be different is either A, let him have 4 turns with his passive, because that would mean you could take him off rotation and then he could come back slot 1, or And this is a very small change that if they did it, it would have been ridiculous. Is if he could just build his attack and defense, because he only raises his attack and defense on super once per turn. If he actually could build defense, that'd be ridiculous. Because the highest I saw his defense was like 160,000, which is not that high. That defense is not that high. But he was taking 70k normals, and he was taking like sub 400k, high 390 supers. So his defense is really good. Like, his defense isn't bad. Like, as you saw there, his defense is like, his defensive capabilities are not bad, but his actual defense stat is not that high. At least like at 55%. I'm guessing if you were to rainbow him and, you know, give him all the fixins, maybe you could get his defense up to like, I don't know, I would think at least above 200k, maybe touching 3. I don't know though, because at 55, the most I saw was like 170k. And of course, he's pretty much the only support unit. The only other support unit on this team is no one, I think. I think he's the only support unit. So at least he is giving an attack boost to the team, and he's also giving a defense boost to the team. So he's already doing more than Gogeta was doing. You know what I mean? He's putting it down for the squad. He's putting it down for the team. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I ever have SS4 Gogeta on the same turn with Piccolo, but he was taking double-digit damage. I don't know if that was because Piccolo was there or if I just built his SA properly. I don't remember. I know from this run it's pretty retarded because I actually wasn't paying attention. I got to a point where I almost used the Dokkan attack on this 5 form Cellmax, which is a bad thing because I ended up having to use an active, but in the end it was better because I got a better Dokkan Super, so it ended up working out. But either which case, I think that this is arguably, in my opinion, the absolute best Piccolo in the game. I would love for there to be an actual LR Piccolo, and when I say an actual LR Piccolo, I mean like a banner LR Piccolo. I think the gimme one that we got from the World Tournament in the past, the LR Piccolo, aged terribly. Like, that dude like is legit an example of a card that was like, when it released, it was barely feasible, where it's like, oh my god, look, he's giving defense to everyone, and then after like, I don't know, 6 months to a year, it was just so irrelevant. Like, really no point in even using that Piccolo at this point. But I think they did a good job with this. I'm surprised they actually gave a decent Piccolo, considering I don't even remember him doing much in that movie. Only thing I remember from the Cooler movie is that Gohan showed up on Icarus, that triggered Cooler. Goku picked up a bird and then beat the shit out of Cooler. That's all I remember. I low-key should rewatch that movie, or at least see the Team 4-star version of it if it exists. It probably does. And as you can see there, Jesus Christ, talk about a fucking, like, a dog shit situation. I was so surprised. Like, I'm so used to Hercule dodging shit that when he took the 270k super, I said, Hercule, come on, bro. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. This run, the performance on Hercule, looking real bad, because I actually healed with a Sensu at one point with Hercule. And that motherfucker took a full, like, 390 or 400k super, which was damn near death in a fucking bottle, because it basically wiped the HP of my entire team. Ended up working out, but that's definitely one thing that sucks about Hercule, is that the worst he is when you're at full HP. If you take a super turn 1 and he doesn't dodge that shit, you're getting absolutely railed. But hey, that's the double-edged sword of in Hercule. But other than that, I think that this Cell Max event has been decimated. It's been destroyed. I think I don't know. I'm kind of surprised to see that the AGL Gohan that came with the Cell Max event didn't get an awakening. I thought the whole gimmick of the Cell Max event is that it was going to come out and be super hard and be like, oh my god, no one can beat this. This is impossible. And the idea would be that AGL Gohan would awaken, would have a Dokkan Awakening, and would have a special feature of, like, it's the only person who can do, like, true damage to the cell, and it ends up being, like, I don't know, even though it's off type, he can kill him in, like, 2 supers or something like that, where the event becomes more manageable. Or something similar to that, because I know a lot of people were saying that STR Cooler and then the new Cooler Goku would come out and be like, oh my god, look at this, this is amazing, they can beat this event super easy. But I don't think that's the case. They might be good, but it's not like they're event specific. And right here, I'm looking to see if I can get a super attack without transforming. I thought that maybe I could save my active skill and just do like a super, but I didn't want to risk it, because if you see here, like, I can basically get a non-super with Piccolo, a non-super with the SSG, But then what ends up happening is that no matter what, Broly would get to super attack, so I end up just quitting the app and coming back in to save the Dokkan and use the active. So yeah, this is not exactly the perfect run, because ideally you want to save all actives for Tech Cell Max, not PHY Cell Max. And other than the Hercule Super, I'd say that this STR Piccolo is better than the Gogeta for the PHY phase. I died a lot less on the PHY phase than I did before using Gogeta. And honestly, I was using Gogeta in the past just as a fill character. It wasn't really anything where like he was necessarily special. He was literally just a better option than PHY Gogeta and a better option than Tech Gogeta as well, because he can actually take normals and potentially could counter super attacks, which is better. So yeah, and as you can see, without supers, that Piccolo only has 100k defense, which is pretty damn low, considering the fact that he tanks well, though. He does tank really well. I honestly wonder if he would hold up in events like the legendary Goku event. I would think so, right? Because if you're taking a 400k super from Cell Max, I would think you could take, like, I don't know, sub 200k super from, like, in Goku, MUI Goku, or, like, Tech Super Saiyan 4 Goku as well. I think that's the one thing, like events like this where it's very short form, this Piccolo will excel because literally you just get hit once and that's it. Your passive is fully active. But then events where you can build your super attack and build your defense, I wonder if he would fall off. I would say no, just because of the fact that his defense is still pretty good. And at the end of the day, he's still a support unit. Like, he's still giving defense to the boys. He's still helping them. Yo, peep the defense of the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, man. 340k ain't nothing to laugh at. I mean, once you get a super to, especially if you get the 18 key super, your boy's defense is so high, we taking double digits out here. But yeah, I'd say this is probably the best Piccolo I've seen in the game. I'd like to see Namekians come back. And when I say come back, I mean to exist at all, because I don't think there's ever been a point in time where like people are like, oh my god, Namekians are so good. There was like a 5-second period where PHY Piccolo came out, people were like, oh my god, he has a scouter, he can build defense? And then that was about it. There wasn't much after that, so Lord knows the Namekians need some fucking life support in this game. Yeah, other than that, I'm happy that I found some time to play this event today. It took a good 3 hours. I basically got the perfect storm at work, where I was basically multitasking, building 2 different things. I was multitasking setting up my, like, production-based laptop, which is for on-call. On-call's coming. On-call's coming soon. You know, I've been waiting for recruiters to reach out to me, you know, trying to get that other job offer, but it don't look like that's going to happen, and it looks like we're going to be on-call. So because of that, I have my production-ready on-call laptop. That way, if anything goes wrong, I can be here. And at the same time, on my actual dev machine for like actual development that I use, I also have was like downloading some new shit for like configuration variables. I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of fucking like old shit that I be using. Like I was using Source Depot. Like Source Depot, I think, is a precursor to Git, which is insane. Like there's some boomer technology I be using. Like, it's crazy that like I'm using like super new cloud infrastructure, I'm using super new technology, I'm using super new shit, but then at the same time I have like Windows builds that I'm doing that are from like the same shit from 1998. I have the same thing with Source Depot, and it's like, it's not gigantic, it's not like you're doing development with it, it's mostly just for configuration variables. But I was like, I was getting sick. I was like, dude, I cannot look at Source Depot. Oh, look at that. Oh, 40k. Okay, I thought this was gonna be double damage. And by the way, take notice that the glitch in the game where if you get a Dokkan attack, sometimes your fear doesn't work. Like, I almost lost there because I took 40k when it should have been just 140k because this motherfucker was feared. Yo, I love how Dokkan sees glitches like that and they sleep. But the airplane glitch, it took them motherfuckers 2 days to patch that shit. Yo, I'm telling you right now, Dokkan, if you patch, quote-unquote, patch the Hercule passive before you patch that bullshit, bum-ass, stupid-ass lack of fear after Dokkan, or lack of fear after certain events, that's dummy. That's super-duper dummy, dumb. And right here, I think I actually opt to keep the Piccolo in the middle, because why risk the taking the attacks? As you can see, this Piccolo is supporting with defense, the SSG duo. I think their defense is above 300k, which is pretty damn good, because on super, it's going to raise it even more. And I think in general he's giving 2 key, so Piccolo does give 2 key. He does give some attack. I think these super attack from the SSG duo should do. I think they usually do 9. I think this might end up doing 11 maybe, which is a buff that like that's a legitimate buff. Like 2 million is decent. And as you can see right here, this piece of shit Cell Max, you know, he's supered slot 1, which is not the end of the world. It'd be kind of nice if, of course, he dodges the normal. It'd be kind of nice if he dodged after the super, because Goku after super can actually knock down the super tech to 240. And, you know, when you're doing this event, bro, that 40k HP, that shit matters. You know what I mean? It makes a difference. And I was not able to get a super with this guy. Oh, okay, never mind. The super attack was 599. Okay, at some point it was 11. I don't know if it's because Piccolo was on field or not, but yeah, granted, Piccolo is not the perfect link partner with the SSG duo. That would be Godku or maybe the SS4. So at some point he does pop an 11 million. I'm pretty sure it's because Piccolo's on field. I'm telling you, this Piccolo is great. Trust me, Piccolo's amazing. I swear. I'm not just saying this to say this. And I don't know if I don't think Piccolo ever gets attacked by Cell Max, which is hilarious. Because I have come here before and he has tanked. Like, he's done work. I've put him in slot 3. Slot 1, he's gotten crucified. But in his defense, it was like fucking 6 attacks. And like, you know, 75 times 6, you know what I mean? Plus the other attacks, like, it doesn't sit well for the end here. And honestly, like, even units like this in Hercule, like turn 1, it's not great. Like, as you can see here, this looks like this should be a gimme in the sense that we have the badass, okay, as you can see here, I don't know how, but I wasn't able to get the 18 key super. I just backed out, came back in, and took a different path. And I think I was able to get the 18 key from this position, yeah. So 340 defense with the Goku. If I'm not mistaken, I thought this Goku only built defense on the turn he's on, not every other turn, but I guess maybe it is every other turn, because this turn I'm pretty sure he takes double-digit damage, or potentially, I wasn't paying attention to the links, perhaps Broly gives like Super Saiyan or something, and I know that gives defense, so that's possible. Either way, your boy Super Saiyan 4 Goku was taking double damage, which is actually necessary because, as you can see here, unfortunately, Int Hercule took a massive fucking 400,000 attack, and it's really a shame. It's really sad. I mean, if I had not built the defense of this Goku properly, this would have been a dead run at this point because, like, you know, you have 100k and you have 2 more slots of damage. Like, what the fuck is going on? So we fear 1, and I think the other... I could have sworn this motherfucker got double damage at some point. Let's see. Double damage. Am I retarded? Okay. It's low. It's lower than 40k. And I don't know if this guy gets a double super or not, but I think he takes like 84,000. I think. 84k. Hopefully. Lower than 90. Yeah, 84,000. And at this point, this is basically a wash right here. Let's see. Alright. We're going to pop the Sensu Bean and then destroy this bitch Cell Max. Now, as you see, this one wasn't necessarily perfect. You know what I mean? We did pop an active skill for no reason on PHY Cell. This STR Piccolo did not take any hits from this Tech Cell Max. But, you know, that was the best thing to do in this situation. I mean, right here, I have no qualms with putting him in the 3rd slot. I mean, assuming he doesn't get supered in slot 3, we would have survived because he would have taken 111,000 damage. But either way, like, he is giving some defense and he is giving some attack to these guys as well. I think the only thing that I wish I got more from this guy was the leader skill buff. Like, he only has movie heroes. He doesn't know Kamehameha. I mean, Goku, again, he's been friends with Piccolo for years. He's known him for a long time. Piccolo teaches his son Gohan Masenko and the Special Beam, but, you know, Goku can't teach Kamehameha, which he teaches literally everyone. He taught it to Krillin, or Master Roshi taught it to Krillin. Why didn't Master Roshi teach it to Piccolo? Listen, I think there might be some Namekian racism going on here, because everyone knows Kamehameha except for fucking Piccolo. So if he knew Kamehameha, he'd have the 200% lead, but I'll shut up now, and I'll let my past self take it away from here. Ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We used the power of Spaghetti Piccolo, and we were able to best this event one more time. Now, obviously, this was my first attempt. Obviously, this was not 5 million attempts. I'd say Spaghetti Arm Pickle is pretty damn good. At 55%, as you can see, he can actually tank some things. I think in this run, he did not do any major hits, although I've had some runs where he's taken up to like 4 hits. He can actually take 1 super if he has his passive full as well as a super attack, and then 1 normal, but that's about it. I think for this team, I think the only thing that's bad for him on this team is that this technically is not a 200% lead. If this was a 200% lead, even at 55%, like, this Piccolo would be doing numbers. Like, obviously, he's only 55%. He has no dupes. He seals super, so obviously that's not shown here. But he is really, really good. Like, the fact that this dude can take, like, 75 hits after, if his passive is active, basically taking a hit for 3 turns, and he does a super, he's taken 75 hits. If he takes a super, it's like it's like a high 470, I think. So he could potentially, if you have a larger HP pool, take a super. But the thing is, 1, he's not a 200% lead, and 2 is that I think that for this event, the big issue is the fact that he has to be attacked every 3 turns. So if you put him off rotation, he has a gigantic lack of 50% defense. So then the first attack he takes is 111,000, and then if he does a super, it's like 75, which is a little bit more manageable. But I'll be honest with you, one thing that the Piccolo did do, I don't know if it was really shown in this playthrough, I don't even remember, but he does give defense to other people. So that's one thing that I think that even though, for this event specifically, having the Piccolo instead of the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is a little bit advantageous because of the fact that he's STR and he's easier for the 5 phase. But also, he does give the, let's see, where is it? Superclass allies, key +2, defense +30%, plus an additional attack +30 for superclass allies when there's an extreme class enemy, which is what we had, plus an additional attack and defense +50. So, the fact that he's on the turn, he is giving a boost to the characters around him, so he is like a little bit of a support character. I'd say this Piccolo is really good, dude. This Piccolo, his super attack is crazy sexy. Man comes out with the spaghetti linguini arm, smacks the shit out of people. He builds his defense. The only thing that would make him like out of this world is if every turn he built attack and defense. If that was the case, that'd be ridiculous. But I think that if you build this Piccolo with additional, so if you ever got 2 supers, he's doing really good. Like, he is like at 55%. The fact that he's in here and he's actually surviving Cell Max, like the only other person who he's pretty much another free tank. He's not. I would think of him as the same tank as Broly, which is not a bad thing. Like, they're both 55%, but and the thing is, not only is his Piccolo decent, but look at his buildup. All his buildup is getting attacked once, and then that's it. You don't have to build super for shorter events like this. He kind of shines. Yo, big W. Your boy Piccolo did it. Big ups, Piccolo. He did it. Who's this team? I don't know who this team is. I have no idea. But Piccolo did it. Piccolo got the big dub. He's amazing, dude. Like, this is legitimately one of the best Piccolos in the game. I don't know what his leader skill is. I have no idea. He's some sub-leader for, like, Movie Boss Heroes or some shit. Movie Hero, yeah, okay, so he's a sub-leader for Movie Heroes. So he gets a 170% lead from SSG Goku, so he's not as good as someone with a Kamehameha affinity. But, yo, this Piccolo is really good, dude. Like, this Piccolo is fucking nasty. God bless this Piccolo. All I need now is for PHY Piccolo to get a nasty easy A. Nail, Spaghetti Arm Piccolo, and then motherfucking, the Easy 8 PHY Piccolo. That's it, bro. That'd be the trifecta. At that point, you have a god-tier Namekians team that no one can fuck with, and then obviously we have the Saiyans that dominate almost every event. But that's pretty much it. Piccolo is goated. Piccolo is amazing. That's pretty much it. God bless the one good Piccolo.